It's February 2024, and here is your energy forecast. February's got some conflicting energy, so I'm really excited to talk to you today so I can help you navigate this month. We have this kind of overarching theme of 2024 that is pushing us in this production mode, create, get to work, get the stuff done that you've been working on or thinking about. And it's going to be a little bit hard to kind of plow through and get things done in February because we're more in a kind of reassessment mode. And it's really important that you take the time in February to make sure that you're not barreling forward, and maybe your goals have changed. Maybe the way you feel about things going forward has changed. So you don't want to just go ahead and act. And I know that's hard because, as I said, there's this forceful energy this year, this energy that's trying to keep us moving and in production. And there's a lot of creativity coming through too, a lot of inspiration. And especially if you're connected, if your intuition you feel is connected or you're aligned with your intuition, this will be challenging because we're going to have a lot of ideas flooding through in February, but we've actually got to be really careful about how we move forward. I can't get over how many messages came through about February that were really contradictory to what we feel like we should be doing for this year overall, and to be getting things done or doing the things that we've been putting off or haven't actually, we've thought about a long time, but we haven't actually done it. And really, if you don't take the time in February to reevaluate what this looks like for you, I feel like you're going to end up with meeting some goals that you thought you had, but actually realizing once you're meeting them and once you're in the responsibility of carrying that goal or dream, that you're realizing it's not exactly what you want anymore because you've changed so much. 2023 has really changed us. We've gone through major shifts, transformation, and some of those long-held goals that we had, sometimes they're shifting and changing. We have to reassess and make sure that that's really what we want now for all the changes that have occurred for us. So if you like what you're hearing, make sure you subscribe to my channel, make sure that you post a comment, hit that like button, and make sure that you subscribe to notifications so you can see when I'm posting videos. So back to this. Now, you may feel a little overwhelmed in February because there's a lot of information coming in, but it's coming in to help you, like I said, reassess those goals and make sure you're taking the proper steps or that your goals haven't changed. We had all this energy last year too of trusting, blind faith, and making sure that we knew that some things had to start from scratch. We had to start over. And so now this year, because we have this really good feeling about our self-worth this year, we've been kind of pushed forward by the energy to trust who we are and just believe that we are worth more. And it's a little bit easier. The energies are a little bit more favorable to push you in the way where you know you're worthy and you know that you deserve more or you need more to, continue on with what you want from your life and how you want to feel. So the hard thing is February is keeping us in this place of rest. We should be reevaluating. We should be setting our intentions and goals properly according to who we are now and what's changed, and really take that pause. So in my part of the world, it's winter and it's snowy and it's cold, and it's really easy to actually pause and to contemplate and to actually take in your information, all your information, process it. So my tip is if you're getting intuitive messages for anything to do, inspiration to do with your path, inspiration to do with things that you want to try or do, or even with a business maybe, or something to do with your career or family, write them down. Write them down. Keep a journal, keep an idea journal, because it's really important that we keep track of these little moments of inspiration, but that we also know that there's a time and a place for action. So because our worth has really been kind of supported by the energy this year, we're really seeing that we need better boundaries, that boundaries help create good relationships and good communication with people. And so that communication piece is going to be key for February. Don't let other people's expectations ruin your idea of what you want to do with your own self or moving forward in your own life, because you will in February, I believe, have people in your life that what they expect of you and what you expect of yourself are two totally different things. And we're really moving away from judgment. If you're on a path of spiritual involvement and enlightenment, like most of you are that are listening, you'll find there's always people in your life that just would rather stay still. It's uncomfortable for them to grow. And so a lot of times what you'll see is they will criticize other people, or they will have expectations of you that are unrealistic. And you have to really mind your expectations in February, that you don't have judgment or unrealistic expectations of another, because you have no idea what they're going through. And vice versa, nobody knows what you're going through. So it's good to take in advice as an observer. It's good to listen with curiosity and kind of in the space like, I wonder where that came from. And I wonder why they would think that way. And kind of try to analyze it a bit and process it rather than acting on it. There's going to be a lot of drama in your life in February if you are actually acting on what somebody has said to you through a criticism or through their own, what they believe is advice. So it's just like stepping back and saying, well, that's really interesting that you feel that way, but you just move on. You don't have to take in anybody's advice, criticism, or evaluations of your life right now. So also in this release, of judgment and this pumped up self-worth, sometimes we feel like we can do more than we can. So it's very important that you balance your life, balance with good nutrition, good rest, and also exercise. Everything needs to be balanced so that you're also feeding your body. And it's really going to be a very important theme for 2024, that we make sure that we are okay, that our individual self is okay. And again, the energy supports that this year. So making sure your individual self is okay. So if you need to come up with some kind of plan this month to help you feel a little bit better in your physical health or in your social, emotional, mental health, then that's really where you should be. Take the time to do that. It's important to build that foundation right now. We really want to be careful about our intentions. So intentionality is very important in February, because think about it like it's going to set the stage for the whole year. So you really have to fine tune those intentions down to a very, very sharp focus. And doing that will simplify your life, creates clarity of mind too. So you can actually feel like you have space to breathe, make decisions, do the things you need to do, and get the results you want. Being very aware of this self-judgment piece and this releasing of judgment and expectations of others and ourselves, that in that piece, I want you to pay attention to the masks you might wear. So when we're talking to other people, how do we respond if they're showing us something they've created, but we don't like it? Are we, oh, that's so beautiful? Or are we honest and say, that is very creative, very innovative, and definitely something I can see that fits your personality. Doesn't fit mine, but I can see where that would be a very popular item, or that would be very popular amongst other people. So how are your masks working? Now, obviously, we don't want to hurt people's feelings. So when you're talking to people this month, trying to stay authentic, but also being mindful of those masks that we wear and trying to tell the truth is very important. It's just going to save a lot of issues. So the other thing that comes up for February is the final slam on some doors in your life. So this completion. And I really feel like we're finally closing the door on feeling bad about things that we cannot control. I think we're finally closing the door on things that cannot be shifted and changed. And I'm a person that I'm very stubborn. I fight very hard for what I want. And so sometimes I feel like the things that are good for us, it does take a little bit of effort and it takes a little bit of fight. But if you are kicking down the door and then you're faced with a brick wall, then you have to reevaluate where you are and decide, is it worth now getting out my sledgehammer and trying to break down this wall? Or is this the universe telling me that this is really done? And the way you can tell, it's your sort of your gut check. It's how you feel within yourself that is going to help guide you here. And if you're feeling like still excitement about this relationship, experience, job, whatever it is that you're having challenges in, if you're still feeling excited about this and feeling like there's movement for you, then you have this feeling in your body. You just feel kind of settled, but kind of excited and kind of happy, but kind of like, nervous. Like, that's okay. But really the problem is when you feel nothing. So say you have been working a job for a while, it's quite challenging. You feel like the door is trying to close on you on this experience, but you really don't care. You just have no feelings left. There's no happy feelings. There's no sad. There's no anger. There's no resentment. So when all the feelings are gone, that experience is done. So pay attention to when those doors are closing, because really, why are we continuing to try to kick down these doors when sometimes some of the things that are behind those doors are not meant for us? Really developing that witness within, like I talked about earlier, is important. So making sure that you sit in the observer seat in February and gather information. You are gathering information so that you can take action. And the action will come and you will produce quite quickly in 2024. This is not about us feeling like we're running out of time. Things are going to play out for you. And remember, time, the concept of time is quite elastic. We think we have this short amount of time to do something, but really that time can be stretched immensely through our own perception. So time is really relative. And I just want you to stay in a place in February where you make sure you build the foundation, gather the information, and have a lot less drama in doing that. And that seat, that observer seat's important. The heart. So one of the feelings that came through for February was that we might feel a little out of place in February. We might feel like, where do I belong? Like, I'm different than people. I don't quite, relate to people the same. And you may be contacting new friends or old friends even, and just, keeping in touch with them, realizing that this isn't working right now, or wow, this wasn't working last month, but it really feels like we're clicking. So I want you to stay aware of those feelings with people, because if people flow in and out of your life this year, it's very normal. So moving back to heart center will help you feel like you always belong somewhere. So bringing your energy back to the heart, back to compassion and kindness for self and others, and always knowing. I had an experience yesterday that kind of blew my mind a little bit. I've been a little bit off, a little bit, I'd say, cranky. I'm trying to change some things about my own health and my own lifestyle to make sure that I am as healthy as I can be. And it just kind of threw me off yesterday. So I was on my way home. I stopped for gas, and the gentleman in front of me tried to pay for his gas and his card was declined. And if I was a judgmental person, I could look at him and say, wow, like, he looks scruffy. He has pajama pants on. He didn't look well. Maybe he doesn't have his life all together and he should just try harder, and that could have been me, not that many years ago. But I looked at him and I just saw his pain, and I felt his panic when he tried 3 cards and nothing would work. And he ran out to his car to try to fix it or try to find some change. And when he left, I told the attendant that I would pay for his gas. And I'm a little emotional because when you do these things for people, you just see them in a moment of panic, stress, fear, pain, and you can help. You should. Compassion is where we need to be. And that little help that I gave him, it's changed my whole day. It improved my whole mood. It made me feel better, because we should be looking after each other. And that's where we should be. So any chance you get to help somebody, please do that. And he was pretty surprised when he found out his gas had been paid for. But I've been there. I've been in places where I didn't have $5 to put gas in my tank, and it's awful. It feels awful, and it's very lonely. If you ever see anybody struggling and you can help in any small way, this is the month. This is the month of love. This is the month to do it. So my blessings I send to you. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and subscribe to my newsletter for lots of cool stuff that's coming up. I have lots of fun things happening this year, and I'm so excited. So blessings to you all, and enjoy the month of love.